Thanks for watching the Chem-Man instruction on how to add a fuel surcharge. We've had a lot of calls recently because of the uptick on fuel prices of people wanting to do a fuel surcharge. One of the reasons you want a separate code to add a fuel surcharge is because instead of adding your prices, if you add something to your price, you'll probably be paying commission on it. So you want a separate fuel surcharge so you can say no to commission. So depending on your workflow and whatever you want to do, you can set up a fuel surcharge. So we're going to go to Setup Menu, Manage Chemical Charges. This is where you can enter any charge code or any chemical. So what we're going to do is click on Add. Now this is not a chemical. It's not an application charge. You're not applying anything. So we're going to click on Other. Okay, and then on the nickname, we're going to put in, and this is what you actually search on. The description is actually what is shown on your invoice. So I'm going to put fuel surcharge and right down here. And then just depending on how you want to charge, right down here, the field application price is what matters. So if you want to charge by the acre, you could put AC right here, acre. And you could put, like, I'm just going to guess, just say 50 cents an acre. I have no idea if that's a normal price. And then your commission will default to none. If you want to pay commission on your fuel surcharge, you can change that to be what you want it to be. Okay, and that's all you have to do. So you just click on fuel surcharge. You want to make sure you change your type to other, not applicable. Description is what shows on your invoice. And then you have your, depending on what you want to do. All right, so I already have several set up. So let me search by fuel surcharge right here. Searching by fuel. I've got one set up by acre, and I just showed you how to do that. You go in there, you make it other, not applicable. It's not liquid or dry. And down here, I've just got let me change that to 50 cents an acre just for simplicity right there. All right, the default applied input doesn't really matter. So I'm going to click on Save there. Okay, so now we've also got one by percentage. So we click right here. You got fuel surcharge percentage. Description, if you want to say by percentage, you can. It's whatever you want to show in your invoice. We've got the other, and we've got the not applicable there. And then we've got 3%. Okay, so anytime you have a percent right there, it will look at all the charges that preceded in the invoice. So if you have chemical sales and you only want to charge 3% on the application, you'll put it right after the application because you don't want 3% to be included on your chemical sales. So we've got fuel surcharge by percentage, and then we've got by the hour. So if you had fuel by the hour, that basically means by your tack hour. If you're entering directly into the invoicing, you're going to have to go in and put total applied, how many hours you actually put. But if you're transferring from scheduling and you actually put the tack hours on your applicator information, it should transfer. So let's try one of these jobs. So I'm going to cancel there. All right, so I'm going to go into I'm going to find an unposted invoice right here. And I'm going to edit it, and I'm just going to add a fuel surcharge to it. So this one doesn't have a fuel surcharge. I'm going to charge one by the acre. So I'm going to type in FUEL and do the acre one here. So right here we see 50 cents an acre. We've got 300 acres, so it comes out to be $150. So right here, it does not give commission. You'll see that it says none. The only thing that we're giving commission on is your application work. Now we're going to go ahead and click on the Save Invoice. If we print that, you'll see that we only have fuel surcharge. It doesn't show all your rate per acre on a fuel surcharge there. So when it's an other like that, it just shows 50 cents an acre, and you've got your total cost there. So now let's do a separate one. Let me show you how to go ahead and post that. All right, so what I'm going to do right here is I'm going to delete my headline amp right here and my induce, because I actually want to put my fuel surcharge right below my application work. Okay, so I've got my application work here. It's $750. 3% of that is $22.50. I don't want to give a fuel surcharge on my chemical. So now I'm going to put my headline amp in, and then I'm going to put my induce here. All right. If your headline amp and induced didn't have any charges, then it wouldn't really matter what order it could be last, But since it looks at everything above it on the percentage wise, then you want to make sure it's second, right below the application. So let me go ahead and click on Save there and show you what it looks like. All right, so we have the application. We have the fuel surcharge at 22.53%, and headline amp, and then induced, and so it gives you your totals there. And as mentioned, there's no commission on it, so that's kind of nice. You can separate that out. All right, so the other thing is I wanted to show you the hour. So if I go ahead and just edit this right here and add a fuel surcharge by the hour right here, I'm going to put fuel surcharge by the hour. It has to know, automatically comes over and says $100 an hour, but it has to know how many hours it is. Now, if you transferred it from scheduling, it would know, but since we didn't transfer it, I'm going to come over here and say we had 3 hours on this job, so we're going to charge $300 fuel surcharge right there. Okay, and of course, no commission. So click on Save. And I think on our description, we did have it by the hour. I think it said by the hour. Come down here and fuel by the hour, and we've got 3 hours total. So we got $100 an hour, $300 right there. So there we go. So let's try actually scheduling one with hours in it. So I'm going to go to scheduling. I'm going to add a quick job right here. Select locations. All right, and I'll just say all there. Come down here, and I'll use my last recipe here. And if you want to, you can put fuel. You probably will need to put it here if it's going to transfer automatically. So we'll see how, we're going to leave it at 0 right now and see how it works out. So I'm going to go ahead and add my applied info. I'm going to say Eddie on this particular date. I'll just have 1 pallet, but I think it, pretty sure it works fine on 2 pallets too. 2001, 2003, 31. And I'll just, for quick entry, I'm going to transfer that to an invoice and confirm. And then I'm going to go to my invoicing, enter unposted. All right, so we have an invoice here. I'm going to click on edit just to see if it transferred my tech information. It did. It took my fuel hour and it looked at my 2 hours there, $100 an hour and $200 an hour. So even if you had multiple entries, like 2 or 3 pallets with tech information, it will add it up right there in your hours and bring it along. So if you go down here, you'll see that I had net tech hour of 2 hours. So it's very handy if you can transfer it. Otherwise, if you're directly entering into an invoice, you'll have to put your total hours. So I hope this helps you understand fuel surcharges. Now, if you need to go in and prices change, you may let your growers know, that you will, let them know ahead of time that you may be flexible on your percentages or your price per acre or price per hour as the price of fuel changes. Transparency is very important. But the biggest thing that's an advantage is, from one farmer told me, he said, I know if I have a fuel surcharge, I like that better than going up on the price because I may never go back down on the price. So he said, I know that eventually if the fuel goes down, they'll take away the fuel surcharge. So I think there's some advantages, especially also not paying commission on it. If your price on your application goes up, you're probably going to pay commission on it. So thank you for listening. If you have any questions, give us a call. Thank you.